All right, guys. As you guys know, leaderboards are reflecting the week prior, so we can capture everybody's accurate numbers moving forward. So for the next slide, we've got for the week of, I believe it's 8/3 to 8/11. Is that, no, that's not correct. What do we got on the next slide, Crystal? Right, so week of 8/2. So in the Felix base had 9 applications for 17,050 APV. In the Durgan Ellefson base, we've got 18 apps, 26,531. Nice week, guys. So in the writing category, we had Kristen Walsh for 2 apps, 1566. Nice job, Kristen. I see you being very consistent week over week. Love that. We have Dustin, 1 app for 808 APV. He's another one. Just keep swinging, learning, adjusting. James Burge, 2 apps for 2463. Love those ratios. Brandon, if you're going to get one done, that's probably the one. 6177 APV. Great job, buddy. Paige, 6 apps, 6208. Perfect, beautiful ratios there. Rafa, 5 apps for 7,600. Nice and even. Great ratios there. And again, next week will look the same or better. Tommy Boy, 5 apps, 7965. Great job, buddy. Again, you're somebody that just pops in, gets it done. And then of course, she's turning into also, of course, 5 applications for 10,791 APV. And guys, if you're brand new, you're looking at these numbers. I think only one person on this list is at the starting commission rate. So corporate says if you're brand new, take half of that number. But there's, I think, only one person, that's possibly two, that are at the starting commission rate. So this is what the agents here will make in the week, right? Not the month, not 6 months, in the week. This is what the opportunity is. So month to date on the base shop for August, for me, 5 unique writers, 22 apps, 36,383 APV. And on the Durgan Ellefson side, we've got 8 unique writers, 2 of them new, 37 apps for 46,276. I'd say that's a great month, a week rather, heading into conference.
Yeah, and 4 new writers for the month of August. Congrats to Rachel and David, both of which working really hard, learning the system. And I'm excited to see Rachel at conference as well. Brand new writer rolling into conference. It's a good way to be. So congrats, brand new. I know the first app is the hardest. So once you get through that, it's just go time. You know what the end result is. Now it's just working backwards from there.
Oh, dang it, Paige. Dang it.
I love that you have to read this slide, Tom.
Oh, this is a friendly competition, y'all. We are trying to build the biggest agencies with our names on it. The big fat juicy agency, as Miss Page calls it. But man, Bridget, you've shared it with 16 people, myself 17. And quietly I'll say page 24.
I'll say 24.
Quietly page 24. Quietly. Coming to get you.
All right, sounds good. Workroom, you guys, the Zoom room is open. So Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're here, you're already in it, so you know where to go. Basically, this is up to you, right? If you're going to win here, you have to put yourself in a position to do so. And what we have found is the best way to do that is to surround yourself with those who are already winning. So being on these calls, great start. But you can pop in here at any time, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and you can listen to other people run appointments. You can listen to people dial. Some people run interviews through here. Just pop in. If you don't see anything going on in that main room, look at the breakouts and see what's going on. If it says invite only, unless you've been invited, don't pop in there. But any other place, pretty much fair game. So pop in there, see what's going on. If you are dialing, a great strategy. I did this a lot in the beginning because I was terrified to dial. I would just share in Teams and say, hey, I'm popping into dial. Does anyone want to come in and do it with me? So I'm on Zoom dialing, holding myself accountable. Tom would usually pop in. Ibel, I know Rafa was in there a lot. So it's just a great opportunity to dial together, kind of get through it together. But again, that extra layer of accountability too is everything. So utilize this. It's here for you.
Oh, this is it. This is the destination trip, and we're going to announce the winners at conference. But we have some fairly clear winners. Everybody that registered obviously gave themselves a boost, but through today and tomorrow, it's for the ramp up to conference. It will be on your submit business as well. So still an option for any of those that are close. And super excited for this because it's a really, really cool trip that, the three winners, they will have earned it. And it's all for doing all the same things we were going to do. Maybe you ramped it up to be able to have the benefit of, okay, did this, helped a lot of families, made income, and now I get to go on an all expenses paid trip. So very, very cool. And we'll announce the winners at conference.
Oh boy.
Paige, you got to tell me?
Paige is distracted by a cat. Hey, this is where all the action's happening this week. I'm flying out tonight. It's going to be just the best. Man, if you're looking to meet the best of the best, be in the hotel right next to the convention center. Doesn't matter where you're staying, but be in that lobby because that's where all the stuff happens because it's so close. And there's still time to get there. I mean, you still got 2 days to get there. So if it's on your heart, go get there. We'll figure it out. Okay.
Yes, sir. And then we've got our night owl in the Ryan Miller Master. So night owls are fun. Basically, it's just a way to get together, an opportunity to kind of hang out as a smaller group and just meet some other people within the Ryan Miller organization. So that's all of us, right? Plus a few more. So scan the QR code, make sure you are registered. You don't have to pay to go. It's just a little cocktail hour to socialize and hang out. That's a big reason why we do conference is so we can see each other in real life and actually get that one-on-one time. And you never know, right? Some of the biggest lessons learned at conference are in the in-between moments. The speakers on stage are incredible. The breakouts are incredible. You're going to have a ton of notes, a ton of motivation, just a ton of fire moving out of conference. But some of the things that I've really taken long term and been able to apply directly have come from those little side conversations from people at events like this. So make sure you're there. Again, you don't have to pay. So get there, show up, make sure you're registered, and mark this down in your calendar for Thursday.
It's going to be fun. And kind of on that note, guys, what I wanted to talk about today, since most of us, like I'm leaving for conference, actually Wednesday morning, but I think the majority of us are going. So wanted to talk more about what I referenced earlier, being intentional in a time block that is very scheduled in, during the day. There's, I think, going to be almost 5,000 agents there. So how to maximize your time. And I'll talk about a couple of things that helped me. And then anybody that's been to a conference, any of the OGs on the call, I want you guys to just unmute and kind of give a one sentiment of like what you learned to do kind of more effectively for the next time. So first and foremost, what I will say is, you might have heard me say this before, but it's real. You need to bring some snacks and also a refillable water bottle. And of course, those of you who know Dave Lappin, my brother, he told me none of this going to conference. And that was when, if you sat in the front of the room, you were kind of there the whole time. So I literally almost passed out because I was so hungry, so thirsty. So snacks, refillable waters, if you like, certain energy drinks, whatever that is, you can save yourself a lot of angst there. The other thing is, you need to yes, it is, Tommy. They do have an awesome Target right in Denver. The other thing is how to be intentional. I had a newer agent ask me, how do I introduce myself? Because you hear a lot about that, the proper way to edify and talk about who you are, which I love that question. So here's what that'll sound like. We used to go through a whole algorithm of, I'm Bridget Felix, direct to my brother Dave Lappin, and the dent, all the way up to Marshall. what I have simplified it to, because people really want to know kind of who's your bigger group. So what I would say, how I would introduce myself to anybody brand new is, hey, I'm Bridget Lappin. I'm direct to Bridget Lappin, that's my maiden name. Direct to my brother, Dave Lappin and the Carl Miller Master. Oh, yeah, yeah. So they know Carl, they know Ryan, they know Marshall. That way, and they might ask, oh, are you direct to Marshall? Yes, everybody's part of the Marshall Whalen hierarchy that's on this call. So that's how you'd introduce yourself. You'd say, hey, I'm CJ, I'm direct to Tom Ellefson and the Carl Miller Master. That, because that way it just keeps it nice and easy. So that's introducing yourself. Now, I challenge you guys to really be intentional about what you do want out of the conference. And I don't mean I want to learn more. I want to figure out you're going to learn all that. But who are the one or two people that you've heard on calls that really resonate with you? We all have different kind of voices that hit with us. And if you've heard somebody on the call, that's the person that you want to intentionally kind of because they'll be there, they'll be around, but they might have a lot of other people around wanting to, ask or get insight from them. So the second part of that is, let's say, like for me, one of the people that really hits with me is Jacob Polk. The way he communicates really resonates with me. And my third conference, I think, so I said, I would really like to talk to him. And I'd see him, and clearly it would be maybe he'd be talking maybe to one of his teammates walking, and then I kind of found him in a group of people talking. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to go kind of saunter in, and that was the best way for me to hear people talk. So if you see somebody that you've really wanted to talk with or ask a question to, and they're in a group of people, just kind of get in that mix and see, chances are maybe someone will ask what kind of is on your mind. And that's the other piece is have your question ready and have it be fairly specific maybe to what you want. In other words, you can ask general things like, how did you get where you are? That's not really going to be helpful for you. But just think in your mind of something that you really need, that you really want to get better at. You find that person and ask that question. Okay. Do not be afraid to engage with people you don't know. I don't think anybody on this call is in danger of that, but when you're new, your first conference can be overwhelming. So real quick, I'll flip it over to you, Tommy. What do you got?
Okay, if you're new and this is your first conference, write these down. This will get you through. I promise. I promise. Find your 3 things that you want to get better at before you leave.
Yep.
Find your 3 things that you want to get better at. Have 5 questions that you want to get answered in your mind before you leave. Okay. Then if you're new, you may not know all the higher up people or whatever, like the Jacob Pogue that Bridget just mentioned. That's okay. But if you see somebody on stage, if you see somebody that you want to go meet, find one of us. We'll get you that introduction. There is absolutely no way that we won't introduce you. You find 5 people, meet 5 people that you don't see on Zoom every single day.
Yep, that's a
Find
great
those
ad, though,
different
Tommy.
voices. And then after a conference, it's your responsibility to follow back up with your mentor as to what you learned, what you're putting into action right away.
Love it. I love that. I love that, grab one of us and say, hey, I really wanted to meet Jacob. I'm a little nervous, whatever that is. We can, and I think we laughed before, like Ibble will talk to everybody and introduce, and she's been around long enough to be able to do that. So, and I love that. Having who you want to meet, questions answered, because it'll be quick. The interactions will be very, very quick. Rafa, what's something you'd want somebody new to know about conference?
I knew that you were going to ask me.
Yes.
So I was remembering that my first conference was in Washington a couple of years ago, and it was overwhelming. And I'm kind of shy. I really don't like to talk, but if you want to improve, you definitely have to do it. And it's something that's going to help you also to get over in the phones. You don't want to talk on the phones. It's the same thing as you don't want to talk to someone that you don't know at conference, but definitely you should do. Definitely
Love
you
it.
should do.
Yep. So it's such good advice because I think one conference too, Rafa ended up then after the conference at the airport. I think it was with Chris and Mady and
Yeah.
had a real good conversation
Yeah,
because
that's
that's the
correct.
thing, guys.
That was
Yep.
Washington. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you are going to see a sea again, 5,000 people. You're going to have a sea of symmetry agents at the airport, at some of the restaurants, reach out because again, all different personality styles here. Paige, what's another thing that you'd want somebody brand new to know that you kind of, I mean, you are an extrovert, we know, but what would be some, one tip you'd share?
My one tip is make sure that you are in the general sessions for the entire time. We like to say there are hallway philosophers, and often you'll see the people in the hallway that are not really the most successful out there talking. You're not going to see the successful people in symmetry hanging out in the hallway. So just make sure it might be uncomfortable, right? It's weird to show up to a place where you don't really know anybody and we're all kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Am I doing the right thing? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of nerves. That's okay. That's normal. Just step into that, but make sure you are putting yourself in a position to be able to hear everything that you can possibly hear. If you have to go to the bathroom, you'll see me sprinting up the stairs to go, and then I'm sprinting back down in the very small moments that are possible. So just don't miss anything because you never know when you're going to hear something. Maybe it's on stage, maybe it's in a breakout, maybe it's going to be in the ones that Tom's doing, right? Those speeches on the hallway. Like you might hear something that's just going to hit differently, right? It could have been something that I've said, something that Tom said, something that Bridget said, but it's said from somebody who you identify with a little bit more, right? Maybe their background's a little bit more like yours. Maybe their story is very similar to yours. And the way that they say it just hits differently. And that's what this is about. So put yourself in a position to have that happen because it will. It certainly will. Don't skip anything.
Yep, love that page. And the other point too, just real quick, guys, get down there early. If the thing starts at 8 a.m., be down there. Do yourself a favor, be down by 7:45 because there's a lot of people. And a couple of things that reduces your anxiety because maybe you get a little Denver Convention Center's big. So making sure, so that's something you can control, right? We're all about controlling the controllables. And I know we've got a hard stop at 10:30 for Walk of Fame. So Ibble, we'll close it down real quick over to you.
Well, I'll just kind of echo a couple tips. The snacks in the water bottle, definitely. I realized I was trying to pack my suitcase and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough room for snacks in here. So I usually have snacks. But speaking of, you don't want to miss anything. So not only do you want to be in those general sessions, you want to be where everybody's hanging out. Get up early, people are hanging out at breakfast time, go with someone else to lunch. It doesn't matter if they are part of our agency or if you've known them for 10 minutes. They're like, hey, let's go have lunch. And you get to know that person, and you can build relationships with people cross agencies. That has helped me out immensely. And there's a lot of stuff like that goes on that if you're not there and you're not kind of putting yourself out there a little bit to meet people, it doesn't work. And you flew all the way there for a conference. Don't go to bed at 8:30. Okay. Don't skip the night owl session. Don't say, I'm gonna, just go to bed at like 9 or 10 or something like that, because most of us are go to bed early kind of people. But just stay where the action is. And then of course you're gonna be up all day, walking a lot. That convention center is big. Wear comfortable shoes. Wear things that are comfortable.
Good.
Bring a
Yeah.
sweater, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you're comfortable. Um, I literally matched my outfits to some sneakers. Okay. Arch support's good. And
Great
I can't
ads.
wait to see everybody there and all the
Love that.
hugs. Prepared for
Yeah, all the
hugs
hugs and the 5-hour energies. There you go, Ebel. Tommy.
and
Hey,
hydrating.
I'll just say this. I'll just say this. And Rafa, you were talking about being shy and quiet. And I remember our first conference in Knoxville, and it was what, 5 in the morning. We were sitting in the lobby, and we had a conversation for at least an hour and a half. And it was a foundational conversation for you and I. And we've been friends ever since. Through the tough, through the easy, through the wins, through everything. That hour and a half gave us the ability to have tough conversations and be real with each other. and then laugh about it on a lake at Marshall's. And Rafa, I totally appreciate that. And I'm getting chills talking about it because that's the stuff that happens at conference. We were the
I
only
just
two in
want
the
to
lobby.
interrupt. The
Yeah.
laughing at the lake was because you fell in.
No, no, we were out there. This is quiet. We were just,
Margaret.
but I get it, Margaret. But no, this was just Rafa and I out there for an hour, and we literally
Rafa
just
got a
sat
little
there for an
sunburn,
hour.
as I recall.
It was
Got a
fun,
little sunburn.
but it was good.
Oh,
It was well
Just
worth
a
it.
little.
Yep, love it. Well, cannot wait, guys. Thank you for all the ads. They're all excellent. See all the different perspectives. Cannot wait to see everybody here in about 48 hours. It's going to be amazing. Now let's hop over to the Walk of Fame with Mrs. Paige Durgan.